Hello, hello. Oh, is this on? Oh, yeah, it is. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Compton Caligal, thank you so much for being here first. There are no prizes. And let's see. There we go. There's our microphone Middleton. Eat your heart out, Afro Annie, because there's a new villain in town. Microphone Middleton. Whatever is she up to? I think that they have some kind of big like rollout. You know what I mean? When is her birthday? Because if you guys recall, um, William did the whole what was that? The big edition, the big paper, whatever that newspaper for homeless people. He did that rollout in time for his birthday. And he was on the street. There was someone with a camera following him around, shadowing him, if you will. And of course, then here's Kate with her little whatever it is. So let's see here. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about Harry facing elevated risk from terror plots when in the UK. Security report seen by ITV News. So, again, I have to say this. We may not like the fact that the Sussexes are talking to certain news organizations because they can be some timing. You know what I mean? They can be a bit shady. However, there comes a time when they have to keep them up to date with things. I'm told that there's some type of WhatsApp group that they use to distribute information. Um, it's a necessary evil because indeed they are dealing with some pretty evil people. I'd be the first to say that if um, if it comes down to it, you got to know that they're dealing with some pretty evil people. Um, but yeah, it's oh my goodness, I don't like it. I don't like it. To be honest with you, I don't like it. But like I said, sometimes it's necessary. Now, I want to share with you the information that ITV have in the article. It says it also documents how fixated individuals have threatened Harry's safety, referring to how in January. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a whole part of that? Oh, sure did. Okay, I'll do it from over here. How in the world did I do that? Okay, so it says here Prince Harry is focused on 6 terrorist plots, 5 of which originated in the UK, according to highly sensitive um, security reports seen by ITV News. The revelations come as the Duke of Sussex is preparing to travel to the UK and has still not decided whether to bring his family to his home country, which he considers is unsafe. The report commissioned by Harry's own private security firm. I repeat, the report is commissioned by Harry's own private security firm. Details dozens of threats and potential attacks facing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and includes an Al Qaeda document which called for his, oh, I don't even want to say the word, okay, them harming him. The document was submitted to the UK Security Committee task force with deciding whether Harry should get state funded protection when he travels in the country. The whereabouts of the whereabout of four of the convicted individuals associated with the terrorist threats against Harry are currently unknown to private security firm employed by the Sussexes. So those are those four people, the photo of which I've shared some time ago. They kind of, how do I put it? They do not appear to be the best or the brightest. I'll just say that they don't appear to be the best or the brightest of what the UK has to offer. And anyway, pretty scary stuff, though. Let's see. Terrorist. Okay. I'm going to see if I have their photo here. I really should have had that prepared. But like so many things, it kind of hit me later on, like right now. And I do not see them. Anyway, yeah, a shame though, because I know I have them, but I just don't have it handy. Oh, there it is right there. Well, kind of. Okay, you can see two of them down there in the bottom. Teenage neo-Nazis jailed for inciting terror attacks on Prince Harry and other targets. Yeah, there you go. So, sorry, there's only half a head for you to look at, but that is what I have for right now. I'll try one more thing here. Okay. Oh, well, there's two of them. Okay, I can give you the rest of that one for certain. Okay. Yeah, those are two of them, and then there's a couple of other two that have made threats. God, they look angry, don't they? They look angry. Okay. Now, where is the other two? Anyway, what's scary about this is that they know not what the whereabouts of these people are. They do not know what their whereabouts are. And that is kind of scary. Nobody knows where they are. Extremists who called Prince Harry a race traitor for marrying Meghan jailed. His name is Michael. Oh, I can't pronounce his last name, but it sounds like something Polish. Posted an image of the Duke of Sussex on a far right social media platform, which showed the royal against. Oh, I can't say it. I don't want to say it. And these threats called Harry and Meghan's son Archie an abomination. They referred to Archie as an abomination. It's pretty serious stuff, you guys. It is very serious stuff. So um, when when Harry says there has been threats, there has been threats, and they know this already. And I'm sorry if this upsets you, but it's true. Um, okay. I want to see if I can find the other two. And right now I'm not seeing them, so I'm going to leave it at that. But I did have a photo of all four of them. But I do not have that handy right now. Huh. Which only makes me more angry the more I think about this. It only makes me more angry, a bit more agitated that that they are being so resistant to providing security. I mean, it's just yeah, very frustrating. It should not even be a debate. There should not be any and listen, you guys, some of the people that are being very callous about this, I'm talking about like the public, they have been given a lot of um, a lot of false information. They really have. They have been given a lot of false information, and it's the 24-hour news cycle. They are only going by what they believe to be true by people who, in a lot of cases, looks just like them. Okay, there you go. There's the other two right there. British host of neo-Nazi podcast who said Harry and Meghan's, oh gosh. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, that's enough of that. Evil looking people, quite evil looking people. Scary, it really is. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that was weird. Let me turn that off. Okay. I was trying not to say that, but they do look like they're missing a chromosome, right? They do look like they are from the shallow end of the gene pool. They do. They kind of look like they're from they especially these two. They look like they are from the shallow end of the gene pool. Oh my goodness. Yes, that was quite an image of our Prince Harry walking up those steps. That was quite an image. Prince Harry at St. Paul's Cathedral. That's where they had the that prayer um that prayer meeting or whatever they call it. My goodness, and didn't he look magnificent? Finely tailored suit. The day was sunny. Um you all know that Prince Harry, if he presses ahead, even without Meghan and the children, um, he has some pretty solid security people, and no doubt Chris Sanchez will be one of them. So, you know, it's not everything, but it definitely makes me feel better. knowing that someone with the type of experience that he has, a former Secret Service agent, that he will be there. Okay. Now, I don't know if... Oh, there we go. Now, it's not the angle that that you hoped for, but here goes. Here goes. Yes, that is our Prince Harry. That was a great day. Oh, here we go. For you, Heather Stroud. For you. There we go. That's it right there. That's the money shot. Ha. I don't know who took the photos that day, but these are awesome. These are awesome. Absolutely. Okay, one more before we continue. Okay, let me see. Which one do I want here? Do I want this one? Yeah, let's do this one. Oh, that was kind of short. Okay. I feel like I owe you one more because that was so short. So let's do one more. Okay. That was so short. I owe you one more. Okay, not that one. Look at all those people outside waiting. Yeah. I want you to notice that the squatty that recorded this, I forget who it was, but she's so nervous. Isn't that cute? Look at how her hand is shaking. I think that is adorable. She was so nervous that she couldn't stop shaking. Beautiful church. I've gone all the way up to the top of the dome myself. And there are the Spencers, Charles Spencer and his sister and whoever else that is. You know, I forgot I had these. Ooh, that's a lot of steps. think we just saw the back of Chris' ship there. Yep, I recognize those ears anywhere. Yes, come on, Harry. See, this is why they're afraid, you guys. This is why they are afraid. They are so afraid that there's going to be a great reception for the Sussexes, and that just scares the crap out of them. There's Chris Sanchez in a gray suit. Is there anybody who are that are seeing these images for the first time? I'd be curious to know. I don't know why I did that 3 times. Yeah, that says a lot, right? I think Harry was safer in Ukraine. Oh, okay, this is the other side here. You know what? I think I stayed up late that night trying to put these together because I don't know if you guys remember, I used to do that when they would go like on a tour or something like that. I would stay up all night trying to put every little clip together to make a cohesive, comprehensive video out of it, putting everything in order and all that kind of stuff. I haven't done that for a while for some reason.
Now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of services, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in everyone. To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. Now there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit.
Okay. Let's see, what else is next here? Okay, I'm going to skip past that, and that, and that. Oh, this is when Harry walked in. Okay. I believe the lady that was holding the program with her hand shaking, I think she recorded this. Could you imagine being there and seeing Harry walk in? Okay, I'm going to skip past that and that. There we go. These are the people that were waiting outside. Ah, 5 Guys. And if you guys remember,
You were.
Aw. Thank you, Heather Stroud. I forgot all about these. All right. All right. That's our Duke of Sussex. Well, thank you, Heather Stroud. I forgot all about those, but that was nice to see that again. Wow. Wow. Yes, keep Prince Harry safe. No doubt about it. So, yes, the study that was shared with Ravik was provided by Prince Harry's security team so that they did their own assessment. There wouldn't be any doubt that they received something, which is brilliant. And sometimes you have to circumvent the people that are being so resistant. You have to go around them. Since they refused to do their assessment, Harry has not had a security assessment since 2019. That is inexcusable. And as someone was saying the other day, on the 7th, the Daily Mail are going to find out whether or not they are going to make Harry even richer than he already is. So, who knows what's been leaking down the chain? But we'll find out. We'll find out on the 7th, which is what, Monday. We will find out. Oh, let's see. The 7th. The 7th is Tuesday. Yeah, we'll find out Tuesday. Cheers. All right. Yes, C-Mac, that is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the popularity of the Sussexes and the lack of popularity for the rest of the left behind royals. Now, a good chaser for what we've just watched, brother James O'Brien. I call him my brother from another mother. Brother James, bruh James, bruh James. Nice little chaser. Okay.
The people claiming that he was somehow putting himself and his family in danger by repeating some of the statistics or repeating some of the events that were first reported in 2013 find themselves today. I wonder whether they realize it themselves, find themselves today in precisely the position that they accused him of being. It is them, by using words like boasting and accusing him of irresponsibility. It is they who have, if he has now found himself exposed to more risk than he was previously in, it is as a direct consequence of British journalists and broadcasters completely misreporting and misrepresenting what he has said. and what he wrote in his book. I pointed out to you on Monday that the actual words in his book bore no resemblance whatsoever to the coverage that I was seeing. And I speak as a former newspaper journalist. I mean, the gap between what was actually written in his book and what I was seeing in headlines and hearing people who took all of their information from the headlines. I don't know whether or not that gives you a bit more of a break. If you're simply responding to what's in the headlines and talking about it on the television or the radio, are you less culpable? Are you less corrupt than people who are actually writing the headlines, people who are actually writing the stories, based, of course, on translations from the accidentally, prematurely released Spanish edition? So, you know, there was absolutely nothing to stop anybody getting their hands on the Spanish edition and reporting the full context of what he said about killing 25 Taliban. Absolutely nothing at all to prevent people from doing that. But they chose not to, and they chose not to for three reasons. Reason number one, they didn't care what had actually been written. They had, well, that leads into reason three. Reason number two, they didn't know what had actually been written. The fact that they didn't care meant that they didn't bother to find out what had actually been written. And when you marry those two facts together, they're not opinions, they're facts. You come to reason number three, why this happened, which is they will do anything they can to hurt him.
So just in case you're not clear about what James O'Brien is speaking of, it has to do with Harry mentioning in Spare exactly how many of the Taliban that he wiped out, that were eliminated. And it's something that had already gone into print years before Spare. But as James O'Brien said, because they wanted desperately to hurt him, they made everything sound far more malicious than what it actually was. And that was quite deliberate on their part, to make Harry sound cold and callous and vicious, rather than someone doing self-reflection about their contribution to a war. And this is something that you can find in print, in interviews, and I don't mean from Harry only. I mean from other soldiers, just like the one who said that he was the one that sent bin Laden to his glory. He has done interviews. He's written books. We don't even have proof that he was actually the one, but he's the one that has come forward. He's the guy that is cashing in, and he is making no pretense about his contribution. This is something that soldiers speak of as a way to deal with, I guess, the effects of war, because that obviously is something that stays with you. So Harry's reflection, thanks to the tabloid media, turned into something of boasting or glee when it was nothing of the sort. But that, like James O'Brien said, these are the things that they do because they really want to hurt him.
Including taking exactly the same approach to this story that the Taliban took. Talking about people now in the British media who are attacking Prince Harry while rolling out a red carpet for, what's his chops, Andrew Potato. I'll say that again. Attacking Prince Harry, a military hero, however you measure it, while rolling out a red carpet for Andrew Potato and claiming that they're somehow patriotic. The same people have now found themselves taking the same approach to the same misrepresentation of a now published story that the Taliban took, the actual Taliban. If you're towing the same line on this story that the Taliban are towing, it's probably time to give your head a bit of a wobble. But that's what hatred does to you. That's what unhinged hatred does to you. And the reasons that lie behind the unhinged hatred directed at this couple would detain us for a lot more than an hour, although obviously misogynoir, which is a word I was only introduced to as a consequence of discussing Meghan Markle's treatment by the British media and establishment, is a large part of it. It extends inevitably to her brother. So there it is. Those three reasons are horrible. What he actually said bears no resemblance whatsoever to what we were told he said by newspapers. And the reason why that happened is because they don't care what he said.
And it is the same with the emotional support polls that they take. The wording used to poll or to question someone about their beliefs or about their stance on a particular topic or subject or person, it can easily be manipulated by the way you solicit them for the poll. It could be manipulated from the question that is asked on the poll. It is not difficult to do. And the people that are taking these polls, these are wordsmiths. They know exactly what type of incendiary language to use to damage a person's ability to have a fair and accurate count, to have a fair and accurate poll taken. So, in other words, if you go by the poll itself, you would think that there is less tolerance for you than what there actually is, because they are asking the question in a way to fuel anger, to have an emotional response. And that's why polls can be very deceptive. It's like they say, well, if you put it like that, do you believe in this or that or the other? Well, if you put it like that. So, yeah.
They don't want to find out what he actually said because that would rob them of the opportunity to attack him with what they say he said, but he didn't. That's pretty scary, all right? Now, if you're talking about whether or not a footballer's wife is leaking stories to a newspaper about another footballer's wife, it's hilarious and it doesn't matter. Or whether you're just misrepresenting what a game show contestant or a reality television contestant has done, that also can seem trivial until, of course, a presenter takes her own life in some contexts, in some well-documented examples. So the stakes are always high when you're playing with people's truth. But when you're actually taking the same line as the Taliban on a misrepresentation of what a British military hero said, you're scum. That's not a word I use very often, but you are. It's unthinkable to me that you could have woken up this morning and found yourself on the same side of the fence on how this story has been treated and reported. I am not for a moment suggesting that you would agree with the Taliban about anything else, because I don't know you. But you've rolled out a red carpet for Andrew Potato while attacking Prince Harry, so we're going to disagree about quite a lot of things. And here's a big one. If you woke up this morning and found yourself on the same side of the fence as the Taliban when it comes to the misreporting and misrepresentation of a story so easy to establish that you only have to read a book that has just become the best-selling non-fiction book in history, you need help, don't you? But
and just to help put this in context, you look at Barack Obama, who has again and again been voted one of the most popular people on the planet. But because of the 5-year campaign by Donald John Trump, where he literally questioned a black man's legitimacy. It doesn't matter what education, it doesn't matter how highly people have spoken about him. None of that stuff matters. Once your enemy defines who you are, it is very, very difficult to disprove, because you would constantly find yourself on the defensive. And my dear sweet friend that passed away during the pandemic, oh my God. He and I had been friends since the 1980s. I met him through two other people, but we had interests in art and architecture, history. And so we could always count on each other to go to these museums and such, or gallery openings and that kind of stuff. It was amazing to have someone that is so like-minded. But then comes Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And he was completely consumed by the negative articles and the podcasts and all these things. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Like my aunt used to call me, do you think they're going to get a divorce? I said, no. And then I'm trying to explain the algorithm to her. But every time my aunt would open up her phone, there's another story about Harry and Meghan coming through the Google. And you can switch it off, but then it kind of affects your ability to search for certain things. So I leave it on, but I don't usually click on anything like that about the Sussexes. So I don't often see that stuff pop up on my phone. But my aunt was so triggered. She just had to read the story, and she believed a lot of those things. And so she would call me in a panic so that I can calm her nerves down. And so, yeah, there are people in my life, in my personal private life, that have been bamboozled. And it doesn't seem to matter what I say or how I explain things. They are still likely to think that there is some truth to the hostile and hateful things that are said, that there's some element of truth there. It's very hard to not get consumed by it because they lay out the case. And we have watched Murder, She Wrote. We've watched Columbo. We've watched Starsky and Hutch, The Rockford Files, Magnum PI. We've watched so many things on television where they lay out the case, and by the end of the show, you kind of feel like you're just as expert as they are. And that is what makes this so manipulative, is that these are the people that are expert at using the right words at the right time to get just the kind of reaction that they want. And the people that are consumed by this, that believe it, they just do not have a strong enough filter for the BS. I'm sorry. I if that's someone in your life, I don't mean to offend anyone, but that's what it is. They just don't have a good BS filter. Maybe it's just for certain things and not others, or maybe it's everything. I'm not the brightest person in the world, but I always leave room for another scenario, for another story. My first question is, why are you telling me this? What's in it for you? That's just the most basic thing. The people that appear on these podcasts, they're not there because they're trying to save Britain. They're there because they're trying to save money. Whoopi Goldberg doesn't get out of bed because she is so worried about what's happening to this country. She gets out of bed because they have made her a millionaire. That's why she does it. That is the first thing you ought to consider when you listen to someone telling you the worst thing about another human being? What is the motivation? Which is why it and listen, you guys, that thing on Jeremy Vine, it's torturous. Where that fat guy with the beard, I mean, he just repeated. They notice how he shouts over the two women, and he's able to get his point across. This is why they don't invite Dr. Shola, because Dr. Shola will not be disrespected. Notice that she doesn't get invited to those things because she is too tenacious, and they just will not accept that. You have to downplay your intelligence. You have to slow your ability to make your case so that you give someone like that chubby guy the opportunity to mop the floor with you. Damn that. I just won't be back to the show again. It's disgusting. And as James O'Brien said, it can be very dangerous. And they just don't care. They didn't care about Carolyn Flack. Where is she at right now? Where's Carolyn Flack? This is why I say all the time, these people are dangerous. I wish that it would make a difference if you just go to Montecito, say nothing, do nothing, and just focus on your work. These people are never going to leave you alone, ever. And when they're done with the Sussex, the Harry and Meghan, then it'll be the kids' turn. So this is why I say, trust the process. Harry is trying to settle some of this stuff now while he can do something about it. They never left John F. Kennedy Jr. alone, ever. And it's just an unfortunate thing, but you just cannot stick your head in the sand and hope it goes away. This is something that must be managed. And that does mean from time to time that you have to let a little daylight in. You have to give up a bit of your privacy in order to try and, at the very least, have some kind of rapport with these people. Now, yes, I know it did not work out for Diana, but Diana did not have the Sussex squad. Diana did not have social media. So whatever happens, the Sussexes will not be alone in this world. They won't be alone with just each other. There's always going to be other people out there that recognize how dangerous this is and call them out. That's just the best thing that we can do, is to call them out, is to bombard the social media with images that contradict the narratives coming from the tabloid media. It may not seem like a lot. It may not seem like a lot. But once the mainstream media picks up certain things that shows the hypocrisy, then all of a sudden they're ready to move on and talk about something else. So it does have an effect. It may not seem like it. We're all few and far in between, and it may not seem to happen fast enough, but trust me, every little bit matters. Every little bit counts. And that's why you just have to step out on faith and not assume the worst. And that's why it's necessary to correct some of these accusations, because they only snowball. But my prediction is they're never going to leave them alone, whether they go over there or not go over there, whether they do something or nothing, whether they relinquish the titles or not. There's always going to be something. So, sorry to say that, but it's just the truth. And well, the truth as I see it. the truth as I see it. Not everybody's truth, but the truth as I see it. And I do hope that there is some type of constructive, positive, safe end to this aggression against Harry and Meghan. But until then, I am going to stay in the trenches with them as best I can. And I know there's a lot of other people that will do the same. Let's see. Leg says, no one is invited that had, what is that? Highlight the initial abuse. No one is invited that highlight the initial abuse. Oh, yes. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. They don't go back very far. They don't put enough context to their argument. And that is frustrating. And that is why I always say, oh, by the way, thank you for the super chat. Watching those panels like that, if you want to save yourself a lot of grief, just wait for one of the content creators to talk about it. If you feel as though the conversation is causing you to have deep or rapid breathing or something like that, if you feel fight or flight is kicking in, just switch it off. Switch it off. It is horrible. That last thing with that person, you notice that I've only shown you the part where the guy tells him off, when the guy says that's enough. Notice I didn't show the rest of that to you. I wouldn't dare. It's too stressful. It is too stressful. I showed you that one part where the guy set him straight, and that's it. I wouldn't dare show you the rest of it. It is brutal. It is hard to watch. It is painful. Of course, the two ladies barely could get a word in edgewise. So if you have not seen it, do not watch it. Do not watch it. It is triggering. I don't think I finished it. I do believe I watched the part that was shared by one of the squatties, but I didn't watch the entire thing. I could see just from the bits that I watched away from what I shared with you, it was horrendous. Lies, misrepresentation. And then he says, well, I don't see why the British taxpayer should have to pay for it. She just told you that Harry wants to pay for it. Oh, you can't just go up to Scotland Yard and expect to pay for it. I mean, it's just a big circle. It doesn't go anywhere. All it does is make you very frustrated. It's exhausting. So that is my suggestion. Try to avoid those types of platforms and just wait and see if it's brought up someplace else. You just have to trust me. You're not going to miss anything. And I know some of you guys watch some of the hate channels. I'm not going to criticize you for that. But if you value your peace of mind, stop. Just stop, because nothing is going to come out that is going to help you feel better. Nothing is going to be said by the so-called opposition, the counterpoint, that is going to settle anything. They are deliberately formatted so that the person whose views that you support can't land any punches. Just a bunch of swings, but they just cannot land a punch. And you will walk away from it feeling worse than you already felt. So I recommend that you avoid it. Save yourself. Okay. But anyway, that was, well, there's still like a bit more, but I think I'm going to leave it at that because this was about 8 minutes of James O'Brien. It's on Twitter. So if you have Twitter, if you don't have Twitter, then it'd be impossible for you to watch it, I think, unless you can find it someplace else. But it was on Twitter. And it almost calms me down to hear James O'Brien point out the game that they're playing. But I've been at this for a while, and still I am shocked. I am very shocked at how hateful some of these people that have somewhat grown up with Prince Harry, that has known his grandmother. Some of them have known his mother. And yet, knowing that they have made his life unbearable, they are still lining up to harm him even further. I just cannot wrap my brain around that. You know his story. You know what he's been through. You know what is and is not a lie. But none of that matters so long as they are able to support that institution. And I guarantee you, those people, they don't even respect Charles. They have no respect for Camilla. Usually the people that are the real movers and shakers, they don't have much respect for them. But as long as they can afford the things they need in life, they're never going to buck against them. Yeah, they're never going to go against them. Again, another sad reality, but that's the truth. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to something else. Let's see. Lex says these people are not journalists. They pretend as if they have knowledge into the Sussex household for credibility. They even pretend to know his emotional state, which they don't and are willing to lie. Yeah, that is, okay, Legs. It's one thing that they pretend to know what Harry is thinking or feeling, but that there are so many people that believe them. Why do you believe them? Why do they believe them? I just cannot understand that. I had to have a word or two with a friend of mine about The Crown. I said the alleged conversation. And when I speak of scenes from The Crown, I make sure that I establish that it is loosely based on events. But there's no way that anyone has a running dialogue that they can source to make something like that. They create characters based on real people. It's not the actual person. Very few times does any of these docuseries actually get it right. Very few times. They are telling the story with a great deal of self-reflection and bias and life experience that they had, that they may identify with this person, or they're just making it up. They're just taking artistic license and they're making something that's entertaining. They will play with the timeline. They will add characters that didn't exist in real life. They'll create a character that is the culmination of several people. But you don't know anything more about the person coming out of it than you knew going into it. You just know that certain things happened to them, but you don't know what their thoughts and feelings were. You don't know the conversations, but there are so many people that believe it to be true. Okay, so Kate Middleton's three-peak challenge has turned into a Kensington Palace PR mess. You know what, guys? I think I have gone like an hour already. Let me take a look. I may do some of this tomorrow. I'm going to stay with this, but I think I'm going to, yeah, because I didn't. What have I been talking about? Oh, Lord. Let me see. I'm only on like the slide number 6. Well, there's not that many slides, and it's nothing so important I can't do it tomorrow. So, but we'll do a little bit of this and then we'll continue with it tomorrow. So, it has turned into a PR mess. That's for certain. Feminagra says, when Kensington Palace announced that Kate Middleton has completed the National Three-Peak Challenge, the framing was carefully crafted. The media sold it as a solo mission to explore life beyond diagnosis, and raise money for cancer care. Even though she had a camera crew on hand, the photographs released to the public showed her at the summit alone, smiling bravely against the wind. Then fellow climber Philip Tabajawa posted a video that told a slightly different story. The footage showed Kate descending Snowdon Summit with her brother James walking beside her. James held her hand and at one point, and one of his dogs walked alongside them. It was a small detail, but it complicated the neat narrative of a lone hero battling the elements. Philip later took down the video and apologized. He said that he had handed the footage to Kensington Palace so they could deal with the media interest. Right? And let me see. Well, I did play that yesterday. So I don't think I'll do that right now. But he said a new video shared to a fellow hiker's Instagram story on June the 30th showed that Princess Kate descended Mount Snowdon in Wales hand in hand with her brother James. Oh, no, this is from People magazine. This isn't a quote from him. There was this is what he said. There were congratulations. No, they were congratulating fellow climbers as they made their way down from the windy summit. Little did I know I was actually speaking to royalty, entrepreneur Philip Tabajawa told in part over the video. And James also supported his sister by commenting on her Instagram post revealing her weekend adventure, riding so proud with a heart emoji and a mountain emoji. James also, it says here, a closer look at the new video showed that Kate and James were joined by special companion, one of James' 6 dogs, who walked beside them. And Tabajawa also shared a photo with Kate and wrote over it, "The Princess of Wales just stopped to congratulate me on completing the challenge and then agreed to take a selfie. At that moment, I could only think one thing. I am actually dreaming. That's what he said. But the cameras, what about the cameras? Clearly, they were recording something. They were recording something. Now, what it was, I don't know. Is it going to be like some kind of, I don't know what it is. I think they're going to do one of those outdoorsy videos, like when Kate was walking in the wilderness. I think she has a series of videos like that, and this is going to be one of them. But the thing is, we are not supposed to see how the sausage is made. And that's how this has gone terribly wrong, is that we actually see the camera crew. And that wasn't supposed to happen. The palace cannot have it both ways. The issue is not that Kate had support. Most people completing a challenge like this would have support. The issue is that the public was repeatedly fed language that made the achievement sound solitary, only for organic footage from the public mountain to show her brother right there beside her. I mean, you can see right there, she carried out the challenge solo, supported en route by mountain rescue, and was greeted at the end by the Prince of Wales and their children. Huh. Yeah, solo. I mean, how long do you I mean, I'm sorry, how many people are you allowed to bring while still calling yourself a solo traveler? You know what I'm saying? How many people can you bring and still say that you've gone solo? That is my question. Again, James being present is not a problem. If anything, it makes the story warmer. A brother supporting his sister after her recovery is far more moving than another palace produced solo heroine narrative. So, why was the footage treated as if it needed to disappear? Why was the footage treated as though it needed to disappear? Why? They hastily removed the footage. Now, SK, one of the squatties, SK says, so let me get this straight. Kensington Palace narrative was that Kate climbed the mountain on her own. Then a climber shared footage appearing to show Kate descending Snowdon with her brother James and the dog debunking that narrative. The climber later publicly apologized. He publicly apologized. For what? Why did he feel the need to apologize? I want to know exactly who has he wronged? How has he wronged anyone? All he did was share something that was in the public domain, and that is a mountain trail. So how did that go so wrong? Now, you guys, look at this one. Wait, how far did I go? Okay. You know what? Let me go back to this for just one more paragraph. Let me see. Philip was not the only hiker whose footage showed James with Kate. Other organic footage showed on Instagram appeared to place him alongside her during the challenge. Will they be contacted to remove it by the palace and be made to apologize as well? Ooh, that's interesting. That is not how authenticity works. Kensington Palace cannot invite the public to celebrate a personal, emotional, private challenge while also trying to control every stray piece of footage that makes the story less cinematic. Real moments are messy and real family support is visible. So Kate's hiking story fits the old palace pattern. This feels very reminiscent of the media narrative that Kate did her own makeup on her wedding day. For years, many outlets repeated the framing without any meaningful correction from the palace. Years later, Bobby Brown said what the palace never did. Kate had help. Okay, so I'm going to give you the link to this so you can finish it on your own. And if you have not signed up for Feminagra, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know, it's so rare that someone actually gets things right. You know what I mean? So I say do sign up for Feminagra and get the latest updates. You can also follow Feminagra on YouTube. There's Feminagra on Twitter and I suppose Instagram. So there you have it. I'm no gatekeeper. I'm giving you the information just as big and proud as I please. Let me pin that. And as I love to say, the writing is outstanding. Okay? Okay. Now, let me go here because this is so messy. This is so messy. Breaking. Philip Tabajawa tells me his decision to take down his video of Princess Catherine and James Middleton was entirely his own. Nobody representing the palace, the princess, or the Middleton family contacted him. Full statement below. Reporters, please attribute. So Ellie Hall, okay, is that attributed? I'm only going to need everybody who shared this video to share this as well. Thank you in advance. He wants to make sure this information gets out there. Woo, somebody must have really jumped knee deep in his behind. Because why does it seem like he's afraid? Why does it seem like he's afraid? I'm not saying he is afraid. I'm just saying it seems like that what's his name? Tabajawa. It just seems like he's afraid. Hi, Ellie. Thank you for reaching out. And I really appreciate you taking the time to seek clarification rather than adding to the speculation. To answer your question directly, my statement was entirely my own decision. I wasn't contacted by anyone representing Kensington Palace, the princess, or the Middleton family. For me, it simply came down to personal integrity. The princess very kindly agreed to a selfie, but the surprise video wasn't something either of us expected, although we were in a public place. I reflected on it afterwards and felt that if our positions were reversed, I would have appreciated someone respecting that moment. It wasn't about being asked to do anything. It was simply the decision that I felt, the decision that felt right to me. I also don't want the conversation to create a new narrative that takes attention away from why we were both on the mountain in the first place. We were each there supporting causes that matter deeply to us, and I'd much rather the focus remain on that than on rumors surrounding my decision. That said, I am more than happy to speak about the moment itself if it helps provide some clarity and keep the conversation grounded in what actually happened. If you don't mind me asking, which publication or organization are you reporting for? So that is the Philip person. And you guys, I believe, I'm not even going to say whether or not someone contacted him because I really don't know. I suspect they did. He said they didn't. But this is what I believe. I believe that Kate is working on some project, and having this raw footage out there is going to either counter that narrative, or they're just, it's not telling the story the way she wants to tell it. It doesn't have the camera angles that she is comfortable with. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure her camera angles are not going to focus on her wearing something that looked like men's boxers. I'm pretty sure that that will not be the focus of her video. Hers is going to have lots of filtering, maybe some AI footage, and God knows what else. Anything to make her look her best, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what she's paying for, is to improve all of the deficits that she has been maintaining for years. But it just seems like somebody got to him. I'm just saying it seems that way. I don't know what the truth is, but it just seems that way. And Ellie Hall, I'm glad she shared this, and I hope I confidently and safely and effectively attributed everything to everybody in the most honest way possible. I just don't necessarily believe that it was his own decision. I don't believe that. It seems like there's something else going on here. I don't know. I don't know. Recollections may vary. The microphone, the camera crew, the faux emo monologues about how she overcame the unbearable hardship of her life. And let's see, it says how she rose up after trauma, a tear-jerking documentary. Catherine, or is it, as it says here, Catherine the Great, the third coming soon. Catherine the Great, the third coming soon to a daily fail near you. Okay, I'm here for it, Lily. I am here for it. Hazel Jones says, or they were working together to get people to feel sorry for her pathetic self. I smell a rat. I smell a rat. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Does she have a drawer full of copies? That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. Why wear the real thing when you can get a copy made so you can, do the things that you want to do and still convey your connection to a real princess. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. Zakoy Farm, thank you so much for joining us as per usual. Always a pleasure. Ania Paul, thank you for being here. Isn't this interesting? I mean, there's a microphone. There's the guy right there. There's those legs. Yeah, I insist that she is working on some kind of short film, some kind of vignette or whatever. I believe that that's what she's working on. Oh, is that right? There was a rumor she wasn't being allowed to wear it. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Heather Stroud. I think that is a replica. I think that is a replica. It just makes sense. They have the resources to do it. If they can have someone put together the ultimate AI video when she sat on the bench and the ring kept disappearing, then surely they have the resources to buy replicas so that way she can have that mobility that she desires, that she can, like, remember that day she was clawing in the dirt planting those flowers, and she had the ring on. So yeah, I believe that those are probably replicas. Why wear the real thing when we already know that she's willing to take it off, right? So that means that she probably has it off more often than on. So it just makes sense, instead of sweating the loss or damage or something like that, just wear a replica. I mean, they sell some on the interweb. They're not as detailed, I think, but it wouldn't take much to get a replica made, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're looking at. Anyway, hi Anne. Thank you so much for stopping over. Yes, she has recording devices in her juice box. Oh, I know what you're talking. Just like what's her name was saying. Um, oh gosh, what is that monster's name? The one with the mushroom haircut. I haven't mentioned her in so long. Oh, Angela Levin. Yeah, Angela Levin. I think that they should check their pockets for cameras. They probably have a camera in Archie's juice box. Yeah, I remember she was going on and on about the Sussexes having hidden cameras. Big liar. Okay. Mm. Okay. So the squatties were very quick to point out the cameras. So she has the camera with the I guess not camera, the microphone. It has that noise protection thing on there that looks like fur. Perfect for when you're in a windy situation. And then you can see it tucked into her jacket there, most likely clipped to her tank top, right? Kensington Palace asked the journalist to delete the tweet as if that would change the fact that Kate Middleton was wearing a microphone today at Wimbledon. You guys, you see that thing up there at the top? And I apologize. I didn't realize let me see. Do it come up someplace else? Anyway, let me try to focus my eyes on that and I'll tell you what it says. It says, it seems like the Princess of Wales is wearing a microphone or small recording device. And then, of course, later on, she deleted that. And Sarah Ellie says Kensington Palace asked a journalist to delete the tweet as if that would change the fact that Kate Middleton was wearing a microphone today at Wimbledon. But she was wearing a microphone, just as clear as day. I mean, if you're on the right angle, you can see it. Now, I said earlier today, wouldn't it be interesting if someone could match those buttons with the actual microphone. Well, someone did. And if you take a look in that little box and you take a look at the microphone, well, darn if that doesn't line up perfectly, doesn't it? You got the black button, you have the orange or red button in the middle, and then horizontally going across, you have the green one. I mean, that lines up perfectly. Interesting, isn't it? And then for the outdoors, there's that one. And you can see it is a perfect match. It's kind of hard to see it here, but you can almost see that little like O shape or 0 O shape or whatever. You can just barely see that. Huh. Wireless me. Well, you know what? Kate does seem like she's missing a wire or two. She's got a screw loose. She's got a wire that has come loose. There's a lot of things going on with her. Now, Princess of Wales secretly returns to work at Windsor Castle after impressive mountain climb. That nonsense again. What's the secret? She went to work. So what? If you can call that work. But then take a look there on the right side. Why is Miss Kate Middleton, Duchess Doolittle, why is she working the receiving line? This is something that she has never, ever done in the whole history of her attending the Wimbledon. She's never done this before. So why is she doing it now? Why? Why is she doing that now? What is she trying to prove? And the other question I have is, what did I do with that video? Let me see here. I have it somewhere. Nope, that's not it. Okay, that's not it. I need to find recent. Anyway, if I don't find it, you're not missing anything. But I like to give as much context as possible. Well, okay, I don't see it. No worries though. Oh, there it is right there. I just forgot to label it. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second here, you guys. Kate at Wimbledon. Is that right? Yep, that's it. All right, so here we go. I'll show you. You guys, this never happens. This never happens. As a matter of fact, when was the last time you saw Kate Middleton doing the rope line? The only place we've seen that recently was in Italy, but she hasn't done this for a while.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you too. Yeah, you too. Oh. Yeah, you too.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Somebody had to tell her. Somebody had to tell her, little girl, go sit down. Go sit down somewhere. If only they would put energy into acting. I'm sorry, actual work. If only they would put energy into actual work. Thank you so much for the super chats. Exactly. Real work. Something that more resembles, there are women that are partners with, let's say, an NBA player that work more than what Kate does. I mean, women that don't even have traditional jobs, but they are homemakers and they also do a lot of things to support their family. But we know that Kate has nannies. We know that Kate has a staff of 65 people. Okay? So, there are women that do a lot of work in their community and for their families, and I would say that whatever it is Kate is doing is not nearly as involved as some stay-at-home mothers. Not nearly as involved. Even with her marriage into that institution, she never has done much work. Never has. That has not been the case, which is why Queen Elizabeth, you know how they're always saying what the Queen knew about Meghan? I wish they would focus more on what the Queen knew about Kate, because Kate had a reputation of being incredibly lazy, and she has not changed. This is for show. They have hyped her up as a way to make things difficult for Meghan, just in case she shows up. It's incredible how Meghan and Harry make it possible for Will and Kate to actually become closer to their defined roles, or better, actually help them seem as though they have actually lived up to the roles that they're supposed to be in as, Prince and Princess of Wales. And even before that, they only come close when the Sussexes are around. And as soon as Harry and Meghan leave, they will go on vacation. I guarantee they will hit the surf or go to a billionaire's yacht. If Kate keeps this up until the Sussex family leaves, we won't see her until next year. Christmas concert be damned. Yeah, she's going to need the rest. Yeah, she will definitely need the rest. Because this is so unlike her. I think the last, oh yeah, clearly that she's trying to get the Meghan look. Let's see. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, let's take a look at this. Ridiculous Wimbledon pants. This is from the same account. Ridiculous Wimbledon pants that were so long they pulled at her feet. The $1,690 Ralph Lauren pants are clearly not supposed to puddle, but tailoring is not a concept she gets. It's embarrassing. I cringe at this, right? Same account. Oh, God, I can't see that. Hold on a second. Oh, where is it? Where is it? There it is. Make that bigger. Okay, it says here, the Princess of Wales at Wimbledon today. This is the first time she's ever worn pants to the tournament. And as always, she's perfection. The same account. This is the same account. Now, she cringed at Meghan, but she wants to celebrate Kate Middleton. And then there's this, you guys. Duchess Meghan's mountain hike video goes viral after Kate Middleton hits major milestone. So I believe it was the Derangers who started sharing this video because of that article from Sarah Vine saying, Meghan, eat your heart out. What was a fun scene from Harry and Meghan's docuseries, Harry and Meghan, where Meghan was very cautious about descending down the hill while she was out hiking. And so people have been using this as a comparison to Kate's heroic, once in a lifetime, unexpected. You would have had to have been there to really know how powerful she was. Anyway, that crap she did the other day, right? Nobody told them to go and find this video and start sharing it like crazy. They did that on their own. But, as it were, it was funny. It was fun. But they're using it as some type of indictment about what Meghan is and is not capable of. Well, Meghan is capable of a lot of things that Kate will never, ever have the ability to come close to, like speaking, for instance, or really speaking a second language, or even being comfortable in her own skin, being able to have conversations with people about interesting, fascinating, having an intelligent conversation is just something that she will never do. She can't. She is limited. She is so far out of her element. Kate Middleton is not suitable for this role, which is why the Sussexes are, one of the reasons why they're constantly under attack is because they have to tear down Meghan to elevate Kate. Do you understand what I'm saying? The only way that you can uplift Kate is to vilify Meghan and make her seem like she's the anti-Kate, that she is the embodiment of everything that's wrong in this world. And so they reward Kate for being boring, uninteresting, rather dowdy, somewhat aloof. She's rewarded for that. They pretend that she's like Kate, this high-powered female executive, when the truth is Kate is William's dream bride, someone who does not talk, someone who looks attractive enough that he can proudly walk into a room with her, but otherwise there's just no there. She is very much the Stepford wife. And that's not going to be not true because they have tried to create this personality for her. But what was it? Who was the reporter? One of the Rota, one of the people that are always attacking the Sussexes. She said that if you cobbled Will and Kate together, you can't get a whole personality out of them. NBC began to remove some of the assets they had in place to cover their wedding because there was a complete lack of interest. In other words, it was not 1981, it was 2011, and people just were not interested. So, yeah, that's all they have. They have Kate, and Kate has to work. They have to make her work. I don't mean physically work, I mean work in the role. They have to make her look confident enough to be there. And the only way they could do that, they have to go through Meghan to make it possible, which is unfortunate, it's unfair, but that seems to be the way it is. Oh, you know what? I did not realize that. The Masaka kids. Ah, Connie Bomber. Thank you for that. I didn't put two and two together. Oh my God. I get it. I get it. The Masaka kids. The video, the movie, the Netflix thing that Harry and Meghan produced. Ah, now it makes sense. I didn't pick up on that at all. Holy moly. Thank you, Connie Bomber. Huh. What do you know? Ain't that a blip? Lord, I did not pick up on that at all. Huh. Masaka Marathon. Ain't that something? Shut the front door. Huh. Oh, you'd better tell it, Mary H. Oh, you guys are like detectives. You really are. You all don't miss a thing. I know. There are so few people that are going to be excited about that coronation. If they want people to get excited about that coronation, they need to start sending out raffle tickets. They really need to have a raffle. And then tell people they're going to announce the winner in between the sacred oil and the crowning or something like that. That's the only way they're going to get interest. Huh. All right, Connie Bomber. I did not realize that. Lights, action, camera. And of course, there's Meghan on the right with the ponytail and the tank top. And there's Meghan on the left. I do think those, yeah, that's a different suit. The only thing that Kate didn't do was roll the sleeves up. And you all remember how much they criticized Meghan over the oversized suit. whether it was the white one that she wore to the Invictus that time, or when she wore the one on the left. I remember she wore that to the Time 100. And then here on the right with Emma, they're constantly criticizing Meghan's outfits. And yet, those same outfits trend for an entire week. Those same outfits will trend for an entire week. Not just because of the clothes themselves, but because Meghan wore them. Okay, so morning to you too, Martin. Love Martin. Love this guy.
Morning, friends. Happy Thursday. How the heck are you doing? The deflection, the distraction, and the deception, that's hard to say, from Kensington Palace continues with more video footage from the general public revealing lots of secrets. Just before we jump into this, I'll try and get a little icon on it pointing it out. Have you seen that James has got a studio quality microphone attached to him? And he had this attached to him both at the end of the journey and on one of the summits. And as we all know, Kensington Palace released a statement saying it was a solo hike. Kate was going to find herself on this hike. And then the story, as ever, see what I did there, changes afterwards. The truth seeps out via social media, and we realise that the statement from Kensington Palace was absolutely hogwash. So James was there at the top of two of the summits, bodyguards, full camera crew. And if James is wearing a studio quality mic, you can bet over the summer they're going to make a little mini documentary about this and push it out to take away from the fact that Kate and William will literally not be seen for the next 9 or 10 weeks. What else haven't we seen that Kensington Palace told us was absolutely true? She was met at the bottom by James. He was with her. William and the children and her mum and dad. Do we have to wait to see that in the documentary that's coming out over the summer? All those videographers that were with her and those cameramen that were with her are going to be very busy over the summer, pushing out more polished PR to try and distract the public from the fact that these morons cost us millions and give back, really, to the UK almost nothing at all. My opinion's not important. Yours is. Comments are open. Tell the world what you think.
All right, Martin. Woo! He said a mouthful. I told you, some kind of documentary or something that they're coming up with. As someone said, William is running the. They're going to run their household. They're going to reign in the future as monarchs, as though they're campaigning. These are like the kind of videos that that you would see. You know, they had a thing at one time where presidential candidates here in the US, they would buy up time on television on all three of the big networks, and they would run a video introducing themselves to the people of the United States, showing their family, having them talk about themselves, interviewing people that they know. And it was part of the presidential campaign. I don't know if they still do that, but that was a way before social media to introduce the candidate, just in case the media missed something. And I do believe that that is how Will and Kate intend to move forward in their reign as king and queen. They are going to use videos, camera crews, videos, and such as a way to tell their story, as a way to demonstrate how busy they are. It's going to have that same calm, relaxing music, and it's gone are the days of going to some, I guess, pie baking contest or something like that. They're not going to be bothered with that. They're not going to unveil much of anything. They're not going to open up like shops and whatever. That stuff is gone. This is how they intend to work. And I have to say, even though I don't believe that people will be satisfied with that, I do believe they'll get away with it. They'll get away with it. And they just won't have to do as much work. That's why he said royal with a small r, because he intends to do a small amount of work. Prince William stepped out with King Charles and Queen Camilla, the Queen Consort, on what would have been Princess Diana's 65th birthday. The Order of the Thistle service took place in Edinburgh, St. Giles Cathedral on July the 1st. They could have scheduled this for another day. They could have just, took the day off, or least of all, not even have William there. But he was there. And that's the face that they intended to share with the public, is William with Charles and Godzilla, as opposed to being here, there, or wherever, observing his mother's birthday, her 65th birthday. I believe it was deliberate. I've heard people say that, when William becomes king, he's going to burn it all down. He's going to put Camilla in her place. Doesn't look like it to me. This is a relationship that Camilla has been working on for quite some time. And as much as I hate to say it, she seems to always get her way. How William finally met the Rottweiler. And she came out saying, "I need a drink." Part 2 of royal author Penny Junor's riveting book reveals how, after the troubled start, the young prince came to terms with Charles' love for Godzilla. Let me see. How do I say this so not to get in trouble? Okay, I'll just say this. When William was younger, he used to drink. Okay. Do I need to add anything else to that? He had drinking buddies. Still, I don't think I need to add anything more to that. And what a relief for William to have friends, air quote, friends, that understood his need for spirits. And friends come in all shapes and sizes. They really do. Some friends are good for going to the occasional party. And then some friends seem like they could have run in the Kentucky Derby. But friends no less than any other friend. Got it? Got it. Okay. So thank goodness for friends, right? You got to have friends. And like I said, she's been working on this for a while. A long time. Now, take a look at this. Right there in the front row side, in a group of beautiful women in their beautiful wedding gowns, holding their gorgeous wedding bouquets on their respective wedding days, one's eyes go straight to Meghan. She just draws one in. Yeah, she just draws one in. But yeah, the most iconic weddings looks of all time. And there's our Meghan, one of those iconic looks. And that's In Style magazine. I didn't get a chance to see the article, but Carmela shared that with us, and I thought I would share it with you. What else am I going to share? I am going to share that it's been almost 2 hours, and I know I said I was going to jump off and finish tomorrow, but I decided to keep going because this was getting very interesting. So maybe, I don't know, one of these days coming up when maybe in a week or two, we can have another members only chat about things. I think we should wait until after the Sussexes are done with their trip over there, and then we can chop it up then. I'll look forward to it. So, and of course, I just can't have a members only unless I have Hazel and Legs. And because I know they'll probably agree to do it, I can hear them shaking their heads right now. Look forward to that after the Sussexes visit is over so we can gossip about that. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So if you have any last comments, go ahead and throw those in the chat. Also, you guys, because of today's economics conditions, I rarely mention one of my favorite things. And with your permission, I want to mention it now. And that, of course, is the wish list. As I said, I barely mentioned the ooh, you know what, guys? Don't go anywhere. Don't you dare go anywhere. How long is this? Ooh, maybe I'll share this tomorrow. Yeah, it's nothing, with the Sussexes traveling right now. But I just saw something we can have a conversation about tomorrow. So, that'll be an interesting conversation, I think. Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll do that one tomorrow. Oh, that'll be fun. Was Harry ever on Graham Smith's show? Why don't I know about that? Uh, yeah. It seemed like he was on Graham Smith before. I just kind of saw that slide past me here. Oh, Lord. Kate's cerulean suit at Wimbledon cleverly shows she's a working royal in look as well as deed, says Shane Watson. Plus, plus find out which star has topped our best dress poll so far. You mean to tell me that her suit conveys how hard she works? If you say so. That suit must be working overtime. That suit has got a lot of work to do. Huh. Okay. Oh, you guys. Now, you know what? Harry and Meghan has had all of these flawless trips abroad, right? Flawless, one after the other. They could not put a foot wrong. And there is an active campaign to try to make Harry and Meghan's trip, if they come to the UK together, they're trying to make people believe that the trip is in chaos. It hasn't even started. It hasn't even started. But they are using the word chaos deliberately. The trip haven't even started yet. And they are deliberately using that catchphrase. Oh, well. What can you do? What can you do? It's a misinformation campaign. And I do believe that they are working in tandem. They have a team to uplift Kate and Willie, and then there's a team of reporters that are um, ordered to tear down the Sussexes. I really do believe that, and this is going to go on for as long as it takes until the Sussexes return safely back to Montecito. So buckle your seatbelts, you guys, because there's going to be more of the same. But be strong. Try not to make anything personal if you are engaging with the enemies. And also, um, don't say anything to get yourself kicked off of social media. You know, stuff like Kate looks like a dude in that suit. Don't say anything like that because you can get in trouble. Oh, wait a minute. Did she roll the sleeves up? I think she did. I think she rolled those sleeves up. Okay, you guys, I see some of you all are still there. Um, you know what? This is one of those. Okay, it's Harry on Graham Norton. I don't think Harry's ever been on Graham Norton's show. And oh, this is some kind of hate video. This is some kind of hate video, and I'm fixing to report it too. I do believe it's AI. Oh my God. Let me remove this from my watch history because if I don't, then I think somehow it's going to find your channel. So I just removed it. Well, since you all don't seem to want to go anywhere, let me see here. Okay. No, I'm going to wait till tomorrow, you guys. I wanted to talk about the video for Professor Tim Wilson. I haven't even listened to it myself. I was tempted just to play it just now, and then we could discuss it, but I'm going to go ahead and get off. But thank you so much. Love you guys. Oh, I interrupted myself. I was going to post the wish list. That's what I was going to do, since I haven't shared it much lately, but I'm just going to post it because I love a surprise. I'm just going to say it. I love a surprise. So I am going to share my wish list with you, and you are not obligated to order anything from my wish list. This is totally for my fun. I don't think my wish list will get you in heaven, but it will put a smile on my face. So there you go. That is the official Royal Sussex wish list. There are some items there that I thought would be really cool. So take a look at it. Don't take a look at it. If you do, remember, it is just for fun. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting stuff there. But yeah, it's just for fun. So that is the link for the wish list, the official Royal Sussex wish list, filled with items to take some of the sting out of the day, to a surprise. Okay. All right. So, or just look at it just to look at it. You don't have to buy anything. Although it is fun when I get that box and I'll be like, I didn't order anything. I didn't even order anything. I wonder what this is. So I won't mention it again for at least a month, but there it is. The official Royal Sussex wish list. I guess that's it. I'm going to take a look at the comments here before I go. Let's see. Been fun today. 2 shows. Thank you, Baron. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Heather Stroud. Good night, Connie Bomber. Hoot, hoot. Good night, Legs. Mary H. Miss Z. But you guys, it's so unfair that they're calling this trip chaotic and all that kind of stuff. Harry and Meghan have had multiple flawless trips abroad. If it's anything that makes me proud, is the fact that without the resources available to, let's just say, Will and Kate, they have made some very, very memorable, exceptional trips abroad. And even though there are some people that are kind of like not their biggest fans, when someone says, "Oh, this makes me feel nostalgic," I think about what could have been. Um, right now, they are the face of the royal family internationally, and all of that is true. And yet, this particular trip, which is not even the Invictus Games, it is a countdown to Invictus. They're already calling it chaotic. Harry gave the 28-day notice or 30-day notice, and their response was no. Without even reviewing, they just said no. And then, of course, via their WhatsApp chat room, whatever, they found language that made things even worse. And that, of course, is emotional blackmail, chaotic emotional blackmail. And I forget the other terms that they use. That is the language that is going to be driven into the public's psyche for the next 2 weeks. And unfortunately, there's just not enough people that are going to counter that narrative on the really big platforms. And that is a problem. And I don't like this for them because they are very detail orientated. They are very meticulous about their approach to travel. And this one trip is being dubbed problematic before it even starts. Worse than what they were trying to do with Australia. But it just goes to show, anytime that there is prior notice, which is why I know that Harry was told that he would receive the proper security. He would not have mentioned his family without that. That is a big lie that they told, that that he jumped ahead and that he was trying to use blackmail instead of getting an official approval. That is not true. It's just like Harry said countless times that his name was associated with a document that he was supposedly a signator on something with William that he heard about on the car radio. Yeah, it's a terrible way to treat someone like that. Um, the only person in the family, the only blood-born member of the family with integrity, and this is the way he's being treated. I really don't care if that entire institution goes downhill. It's what they deserve. You know, I wish that worked. I wish that worked, but it's those big platforms where that really needs to be said, is that Andrew still has security. It's those big platforms. And I wait with bated breath for them to say, well, Andrew, and they just won't do it. Those big platforms, that is theater. That is more theater than it is anything close to journalism or anything close to reporting of any sort. It is it is theater. That's what it is. It's just like you're watching a performance. Everyone has a role to play. I repeat, everyone has their role to play. Okay. All right. 2 hours and 17 minutes. Have I lost my mind? You guys, I love you. I'll see you next time.